All right, guys, we're back on the hot seat, and I'm going to test this girl. What I want to talk about today, January 2023, is it better to rent? Is it better to own? And I'm going to ask you the question. Let's see if you could give these people, there's a lot of renters out there that have these questions. I know when we were renting, we can't afford a home. Do you have some numbers you could share with them to hopefully give a perspective and idea of what the benefits to renting or owning is?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, well, I'm Steve Gonzalez.
And I'm Rose Gonzalez with the Gonzalez Real Estate Team. If you're new to our channel, make sure to give a little love to that subscribe button and click on that notification button so you can be the first to know about what's happening in the real estate market or here in Northern California. All right,
let's
get
do
started.
it. Are you ready? Are you
Sure.
ready? Okay, cool. So Rose, interest rates, we've been talking about it pretty consistently, and they're gone up a lot in 2022. Now we're in 2023. They're still fairly high. It's starting to come down. But for the people out there wondering, is it a good time to buy or should I just rent? What is your take on that?
So, I know a lot of people when, we've talked to our clients or first-time home buyers, they take a look at payments and sometimes they get overwhelmed by the increase in payments. So like, let's say for example, your rent is $2,800 a month, but your mortgage you get approved for is $3,500. So to some people, that's a lot more than what they're comfortable with, right? But what we have the conversations with our clients, we always talk about what their future looks like. So what that means is that in 5 years, which is an average amount of time that, some people stay in their home or refinance or whatnot, rent goes up every year. So when your lease expires, you sign a new agreement, more likely than not, your rent's gonna go up. And on average, rent goes up 6%. So if you take a look at how much your rent goes up in 5 years, you actually break even. So if your rent is $2,800, but your mortgage, which is a fixed payment, in 5 years, you're actually gonna be the same payment as your mortgage payment.
So if rent goes up for 5 years at an average of 6% a year, it'll take 5 years, and in that 5-year time, if you have a fixed interest rate on your mortgage, that rent will catch up to that payment. So it'll go from $2,800 to $3,500 in 5 years.
Yep, and then after that, your rent goes higher because your mortgage payment's gonna stay the same, and your rent just continues to go up.
Okay, well, for 5 years at least I'll be saving money.
Yes.
Will I be saving money? Well, that $2,800 a month, where is that going?
So that's actually going to pay towards your landlord's mortgage. And so going back to mortgage payments though, like when you pay your mortgage payments, you make your payments towards 4 things. You have your principal, your interest, your taxes, and insurance.
So PITI, if you guys ever heard that, it's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance,
Yep.
PITI.
So the principal actually pays down your loan balance, and the interest goes to the mortgage, the taxes go to your property taxes, and the insurance goes to your homeowner's insurance. So the principal payments that you're making will actually pay down your loan balance. In turn, it means that you're putting equity into your home. So,
So if you sell the property in 5 years, instead of that principal part of your payment going to someone else or just being gone, you're getting that money back.
Exactly. You're building equity in it.
So you can look at it as a forced savings account.
Exactly. Yeah, that you can live in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So let's say like in 9 years, we did some numbers on this, and in 9 years, for a mortgage payment of $3,500, you would have put down maybe let's say 7% interest rate. You would have $41,000 in equity in 9 years.
Okay.
And then so as history for real estate over the long term, an average appreciation in real estate is 4%. That includes a downturn in the market, but over the long haul of the real estate market, the average has been 4%. So in 9 years, on top of the $41,000 that you're setting aside with your mortgage payment, in 9 years with 4% appreciation, you're looking at $193,000 in equity.
So you're saying if the numbers that what history shows and that data matches up in 9 years, I sell my house, I would be getting 190,000, 193,000
plus the 41,000 where you're paying down your balance. So I think that's about 205,000 altogether net gains.
Okay, and then that kind of irritates me because I'm thinking back to a time where we rented for almost 9 years. I think it was 7 years.
Yeah.
And I remember doing the calculation. I was like, you know what? Let me just see how much we spent on rent.
Yeah.
And it was in 7 years, I think it was $250,000. And that was hard pill to swallow because that's not any money that we're gonna get back.
Yeah.
That money is now I paid for someone else's home and paying for the mortgage, possibly paying more than the mortgage so she was making money off of us.
Yeah.
It was a good home. There's a need for rent. We needed it. But man, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's,
Another thing though is I know us when we were younger and we're trying to find our way, our mindset is we just can't afford it.
Yeah.
We can't afford, how am I gonna go from $2,800 to $3,500? I could barely afford $2,800 a month. How am I gonna put into my 401k? I can't even pay for my kids to go to dance class or go to school or go baseball or any, it's the mindset that we were in. But what were we doing? We're still going to Starbucks.
Yeah.
We're still going shopping. We're still going out to eat. We're still going on vacation. Why? Because we need to live.
Yeah.
And it always kept us in that mindset of we cannot afford it.
Yeah.
And then when we really hunkered down and saved some money, and a lot of people are doing that, getting into the position to buy a home, once you're in there, it's like, why did we wait so long?
Right. You just make
because
things
now
happen.
I'm paying a high mortgage, but I also know that is for saving that I will in turn get back.
Well,
and
I think a lot of people look at mortgage just as a payment, right? They don't look at it as how is that investing, and the real estate market's going to go down or interest rates up, and so they're not really looking at the big picture of what it really looks like.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that we're seeing on TV right now is like, don't buy now, the bubble's gonna burst and all these things, right? And so it's like, it's really hard for people to really see the value of it.
You say that, and there's certain mindsets to buying real estate and investments. Didn't we hear something about Lennar?
Oh yeah.
Are there people out there with that scarcity mindset, or are there people capitalizing on buying property right now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just saw an article last week that Lennar has about 5,000 homes, new construction, that they're selling to investors in like pods, like little communities where they're just gonna rent them out because the investors know that people are renting now. People don't want to buy a house because interest rates are high or whatnot, and so they're taking advantage of the market. They're looking for deals. This is actually a perfect time to buy because we're seeing so many deals out there. Investors have money in the sidelines waiting for these deals, and they're coming up. Just the fact that the article came out that Lennar is giving 5,000 homes to investors just proves to show that there are investors buying right now. We've had a lot of clients just this month who were able to get really good deals. So, it's really, again, like Steven said, perspective and your mindset on how you're looking at payments because, with these numbers of like, even for myself, when I saw these numbers, I didn't know that you can gain that much equity, and I think these numbers were based off like 400,000 purchase price or loan amount.
Right.
And so to be able to pay my mortgage for 9 years and gain $205,000 in net gain, and that's on the
Makes
average.
me think of the $250,000 we'll never get back.
Exactly.
And that's just 7 years of us renting. We rented longer.
Or like, what's the
we
thing?
threw away all the money.
People are so afraid of like the high 6% interest rate, but how much interest are you paying for rent?
You know, and
Rent's 100 heating.
sorry, I was thinking of the next thing. Sorry, ask that again.
So people are scared of the high 6%, but when you're paying rent, how much is interest on that?
100%. I heard you. I know the answer too. If you're paying rent, you're not getting a penny back. You're not. That money is gone. Okay, so what we want to do also is open up your mind and educate that there are options out there for people that just can't afford a 7% interest rate.
Yeah.
There are deals out there. We have videos. Our last video is 3 loan programs that will get you in a 4% interest rate right now. There's creative financing out there to get you into a home. And when rates come down, we could either refinance into a lower rate, or you're in a rate that's going to be lower because it's going to be now's interest rate. If the rates go up, you got today's interest rate. If they go down, you refinance into a lower interest rate. We actually have multiple clients right now. We'll talk about our last client right now that is using the 2-1 buy down method. And that is a way to get a deal into a house. Can you explain that quickly?
Yeah, so again, if you haven't watched our last video, we went over these options, but a 2-1 buy down is where, you know, let's say your interest rate right now is at 6.5%. Your first year, you get 2% off your interest rate. So then it would be 4.5% for your first year, which represents the 2. And the 1 is the second year where you get 1% off your interest rate, which is a 5.5%. The caveat to that is that the sellers have to pay the cost, which is the difference in payments for those 2 years. But we are seeing sellers give as high as like $20,000 in credits.
So we'll give an example. We have a client this week that got into contract, and she's been looking, you know, keeping her ears to the market, and we've been looking for her as well. And she senses that right now's the time. She's seeing more and more deals
sitting on the market.
And so we looked at houses this week, and there was a beautiful house that we found that she loved. And so we wrote an offer on it below asking price. And they came back and countered us below their asking price, but at a higher price than what she was offering. But in her original offer, she asked for $20,000 seller credit.
Yeah.
He came up and still offered the $20,000.
Yeah. So
she was able to capitalize, take that $20,000, and what that's going to do is put her in a 2-1 buy down program. And if she's at 6.5%, that's going to put her at 4.5%, which is 2% lower. That's 2 on the first year. And then it'll go up to 5.5 on the second year, and that's the 1%. If rates go down, she's gonna refinance into that lower rate. If they go up, well, in 2 years, the interest rate automatically goes back to today's rate. So if rates go up, she's in a rate that's lower than, and if they go down, she refinances out. That's smart thinking, creative, and getting out of the scarcity mindset and getting into properties and putting your money to use. So that's a great example and a great success story. Yeah. So there are so many deals out there right now, guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, don't let, you know, numbers really scare you without really looking at different options. If you guys have any questions on, you know, 2-1 buy downs, different areas, I mean, there's just so much out there. You just have to go out and look for the information.
And that's what we're here for. You know, that's what YouTube is a great source to I mean, you're gonna hear a lot of things. We want to provide a channel that is going to be unbiased and trying to just give good information out there, be creative, help you guys out. We're a community. We're keeping our ears to the market daily. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You could email us, you could DM us, you could send us a text. We're here for you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
If you're new to our channel, don't forget to give a little love to that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the
Happy New Year's, guys. It's 2023. Let's make this year amazing.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's, guys. Catch you on the next one.